Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TaughtToProfit.com, and today I want to encourage you in your college choices. If you're a parent sending your child to college or saving for college, you must be diligent. Don't be lazy in this endeavor about picking a college. Well, this college is supposed to be good. You need to really be careful about what's going on out there. Here's an example of what academia is doing today. This is something people are talking about, and this is the kind of stuff colleges are propagating. Nonsense, drivel, things that are wasting people's time. You're going to college to be educated, instead you're being indoctrinated in nonsense. Listen to this. In their Ecosex Manifesto, first published in 2011, queer performance artists Elizabeth Stevens and Annie Sprinkle lay bare their eroticized habits of environmental care. Ecosexuals make love with the earth. We shamelessly hug trees, massage the earth with our feet, and talk erotically to plants. My friend, this is the kind of stuff being passed around as enlightened wisdom and stuff to be studied more in depth. Matter of fact, in the same site, they talk about equine eroticism. The two poets engage with the eroticism of horses as part of their larger decolonial projects of attendance to the non-human world. This, my friends, is stuff that's passed as education today. Higher education even. And meanwhile, it's actually lower education. It's in the gutter with insanity and drivel. And meanwhile, people used to talk about this kind of stuff. They'd get locked up in an insane asylum. And unfortunately today, people are allowed that are completely out of their minds insane. Instead of getting help and getting counseled and maybe they can get onward to a sane mind, they're being patted on the back and embraced and told that their nonsense and drivel and delusions is actually good. This isn't meant to attack these people that have obvious mental issues and serious psychological problems. This is a call for people who are going to be going into college. If you're going to waste your time with that endeavor, make sure that you be very wise in what you're doing. Don't put yourself in a position to be indoctrinated into delusions and nonsense, because there is something to be said for many people have trouble ever getting out of that mindset. Once you've been indoctrinated, and many of you don't even realize that you spent your K-12 years being indoctrinated in nonsense. How many of you have been told things like, well, we're all equal, and you believe that? And so you go out into the real world and you find out, wait, we're not all equal. Some people get better results than I do. Some people are smarter than I am. Some people are harder workers. Some people don't seem to work as hard, but they get better results. Oh no, this isn't fair. The world's... And they don't realize the fairness that they think and the equality they think exists doesn't exist in the real world. The real world is not fair. The real world is fair in the sense that if you will do the right things, you will get rewarded. But the problem is, many people's idea of fairness, and they've been taught this from early age into adulthood, into college, is that everybody's equal. We're on an equal playing field. We all have the same gifts and skills, same abilities. We should all be considered the same, and we're not. And it would never even be good to have everybody be the same. The only people pushing for quote-unquote equality, not equality under the law, which is what we all have, but equality in skill, ability, intelligence, and rewards for your endeavors, are people that are not equal. They don't want to work as hard, but they want the same results. They want to live millionaire lifestyles while having the work ethic of somebody that works minimum wage. And that's not to demean anyone that works minimum wage. Some of those people work very hard, but they're not working intelligently, and many of them have not put in the years of work to get to a position of being able to live that millionaire lifestyle. And this is one of the problems today. You're going to have people, when you go into college, they're going to keep indoctrinating you in nonsense. And not only just nonsense, they will push into all kinds of new levels of insanity. And if you adopt any of this, you create permanent issues with your own psychological ability to recover from that kind of delusion. It's never good to allow yourself to get into a delusion just because you want to seem politically correct. You don't want to offend anybody. That's a scary position to be in. Even reading some of this stuff is a little concerning because it is so delusional and so frighteningly insane that you don't want to spend much time on this kind of stuff. It's not good. And you definitely don't want to go to a college where they are forcing you to believe that biological male and female doesn't really exist anymore because your brain may be male or maybe female or maybe both or all the, and just you may really be an animal. So somebody may say that I'm a cat, and there's literally people out there today in colleges telling people that they're trans-species people who are born human but they're really made to be a cat, and they have a cat brain, and that's really how they're made to be. And we can't criticize that, and we can't say, hey, these people need mental help, because to say that is not to be tolerant and you must be hateful and blah blah blah. And this is some of the drivel you may get indoctrinated with if you go to college. And you may say, well, I'm tough. A lot of people think that. But when you're day in, day out getting force-fed delusions, sometimes that can break you down. It's not an instant, immediate adoption. It's slow, drawn out over years and years of the same kind of delusions until, tragically, you just break. It's like a horse that's wild, running around, and then somebody captures it. And they work with it, and they work with it, and eventually it's broken. It's no longer wild. It's tamed. But this has worse implications than that of the wild horse, because this is a person with a sane, logical, rational thought pattern going backwards, going into delusion, being dragged into the depths of insanity, the depths of severe mental illness, where people's opinions and feelings are put at the same level of actual truth, actual scientific fact, actual data, actual research. This isn't to criticize any of these people that go with this kind of mentality. They really need help. The problem is many colleges, not all of course, and this is why you have to do your due diligence and really research. And if you're a parent and you're allowing your children to go to college without having researched what they're going to be taught there, what the leanings are of these people, do they hate God? They hate you because you're a Christian? They hate your child because they're Christians? And you're going to send them to that school to be taught about having relations with the earth or writing about eroticism of horses? Is this the kind of stuff you want your kid to be taught? And you, as a young adult or a teenager, that you're going to be going to college, is this the kind of stuff you want to be force-fed? This is sad. And even 30 years ago, these people would have been getting help for their psychological issues. And today, instead, any psychological issue, tremendous defects in mental ability are rewarded, and they're praised, and they're encouraged. It's almost as if anything that's weird and strange and completely against traditional ethics is rewarded, is praised, is lifted up to a standard of excellence. And it's not. And so you have to be very careful. You have to guard your heart. Daily you should be renewing your mind. Your education should not be coming just from going to college. But if you do go to college, you have to look out for this, because this is everywhere. On campuses all over, even good colleges that have good teachers, their education is focused on actually educating students, not indoctrinating them. There are students walking around there who have not been treated for mental illness that are going to get praised and rewarded for this kind of insanity. This will be praised, this will be passed around as some sort of truth, some new revelation people are having, because it's no longer about actual data, actual truth. Now, feelings, what someone feels, has become on an equal footing as actual fact. And that's a frightening position to be in. That's not education. When anything goes because someone feels like it goes, feels like it's acceptable, then that's something seriously wrong. So my friend, I encourage you today. For most people, I would say you shouldn't be going to college anyway. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And it can be obviously leading to delusions because you'll be indoctrinated in all kinds of things that a normal, healthy mind would never believe and never accept and never even consider in the first place. Don't think having an open mind is some good thing, because what most people mean by open mind is completely open and there's no boundaries, there's no intellect, it's just accepting everything. And that's not what sane people do. That's not what healthy people do. That's what delusional people do. So if you must go to college, you feel like you must, even though so many positions people are going to college for are going to be replaced by robots and AI, but if you're falling into some weird category that's not going to be replaced by those things, make sure you've done the due diligence and you found a good college that's focused on education, not indoctrination. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.